So hopefully you can see the water, rain, the whole CNO path is mostly pea gravel. So, we're going to be wet since it's supposed to rain pretty much the entire Memorial Day weekend. If I hadn't already bought my plane ticket, I probably would have delayed coming out here to when it was a little bit drier. But, we're here now, so we're just going to do as many miles in as possible. Should have used my GoPro, but it doesn't really fit on this. So I hope this thing is recording, because if it's not, I'm going to be pissed. I'm not even sure how many miles I've gone so far. The other thing to keep an eye on is right now, because of the rain and some other things, because I have to stop and start, it's kind of annoying. I've got the bike on sport, which obviously with pulling the trailer and all the stuff I have in the trailer is going to run down the battery a little bit more. I'm at 52% now, which is much lower than I would like to be. So I've got to decide how to handle that as well. Yeah, I'm at below 50% already. So I'm going to have to shut this sport mode down. This is always going to be one of the issues. So now that I'm eco mode, I'm going to be around 10 or 11 miles an hour, which, to be honest with you, is basically where I'm at when I'm on my regular bike. With the weight and the gravel and everything, this is basically what I'm going to be at for the duration. So it doesn't really gain me any additional speed. Not that I can go all that fast anyway with this rain. These puddles, you don't want to get wetter than you have to be. And you never know when it's a much larger hole at the bottom than it looks like. So, Andy, why don't you tell the people a little bit about the Chesapeake Canal System, how it started, what it used to be, and what it's turned into.
In the mid-1800s, before railroads crisscrossed the country, a remarkable waterway connected Washington, D.C. to the mountains of Maryland, the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal. Stretching 184 miles along the Potomac River, it carried coal, lumber and grain to the capital, powering the nation's early growth. The C&O Canal was built to move goods cheaply and safely through the rugged Appalachian foothills, overcoming more than 600 feet of elevation between Georgetown and Cumberland. Its engineers carved a nearly level path along the river, combining water, stone and muscle into a marvel of 19th century ingenuity. Instead of engines, canal boats were pulled by sturdy mules walking along a packed dirt trail called the towpath. 2 or 3 animals could haul boats weighing more than 100 tons. The mules worked in shifts, steady and patient, guided by young drivers who knew every bend of the canal by heart. To climb hills and descend valleys, engineers built 74 stone locks, giant bathtubs with heavy wooden gates. When a boat entered, water flowed in or out through hidden valves, raising or lowering it to the next level. Lock keepers turned long wooden handles to open sluices, guiding boats through one step at a time, a water elevator system that made the entire route possible. Keeping the canal full was an engineering feat of its own. Dams on the Potomac diverted river water into the canal while guard locks and spillways controlled the flow.
Let's get quite bored.
11 aqueducts carried boats high above rivers and creeks, stone arches holding entire sections of the canal aloft. Every drop was managed, balanced and reclaimed, the lifeblood of the system. Life aboard a canal boat was simple but demanding. Families lived on board, cooking in small cabins, sleeping in narrow bunks and tending to mules day and night. The trip from Cumberland to Georgetown could take up to 5 days through rain, fog and sun, a rhythm of work, rest and motion along the quiet water. At journey's end, boats entered Georgetown Basin where their cargo was unloaded into bustling warehouses. Coal dust filled the air as wagons lined the docks, ready to haul goods into Washington. For the captains and crews, it was the end of another long haul and the promise of a few days' rest before heading back upstream. By the early 1900s, the iron rails of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad outran the canal's slow pace. Floods damaged the waterway time and again, and by 1924, the C&O Canal finally closed. Yet its stone locks, aqueducts and towpath endured, silent witnesses to a vanished way of life and a testament to American persistence. Today, the C&O Canal is a quiet corridor of nature and history where you can still walk the same towpath and hear echoes of hooves, ropes and rushing water. Operated by the US National Park Service, the old towpath now serves a new purpose, a bike and hiking trail stretching 184 miles from Georgetown to Cumberland. Its surface blends gravel, sand and occasional pavement, a living reminder of the canal's original path. From Cumberland, the trail connects directly to the Great Allegheny Passage, forming the first major continuous rail trail segment along the Great American Rail Trail, linking the nation's capital all the way to Pittsburgh and beyond. A story of motion, industry and perseverance carved in stone, water and now the rhythm of rolling wheels.
Spray out just in case. All right. So I've got electricity. So I can charge up a bit, rest up a bit, get a couple of snacks, and I guess talk to the people who are letting me use their electricity here. Introduce you. Everything else is wet. It's miserable. I am seriously not thinking about a camping tonight. And I feel like such a failure saying that, but yeah, if I can find a place further north along, then I am definitely going to. I'm supposed to be riding to celebrate America's 250th anniversary, but seems like everything's raining on my parade right now. So, do you have a towpath map?
So this is
Okay.
back the towpath.
Okay.
If
We're
a few more were
yeah, I'm way further. I'm way further down than I want to be.
we're
All
right
right.
here at Great Falls.
All right. And so,
If you flip it over, we do have a zoomed in of this section. So that's
Okay.
from there down to DC.
all right. So I'm going the other direction. I'm going
Yeah.
up. So, are some of the campgrounds, are there some of the pumps turned off anywhere?
As far as I know, all of them are on.
Okay. I got my little. Okay. Can you circle the place where I might find motels or hotels? Is it Williamsport or is it Bristol?
So Williamsport, yes. That's at mile 100 though, so you still had 70.
I want to go 100 today, but I don't know if that's going to happen. From DC to here, how many miles is that?
14.3.
That's it? Oh,
Yeah. It's rainy today.
God, that's not going to work for what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I came here. I was like, oh, I've got some electricity I can use. So I'm going to sit here for a while, charge up my whole battery, and then head out again. So conditions have gotten a little bit worse. Not that the rain's coming down anymore, harder. Thank God it's not. But I am in a section where there's a lot more hard packed dirt than there is gravel. And so now I'm running into spots of mud that you have to push through. Extra tiring because I was only able to get my battery up to 75%. And so I'm keeping this on eco mode. So that was the bike shop. So I was posting pictures of it, but so I shipped my bike from Florida to DC with bike flights. And so they send you the box and then give the box to UPS and they, ship it. But, I found a couple of issues with the box in the sense that it didn't seem to close up as tight as I would have liked. And so I wrapped it in tape to do so. But UPS delivered it essentially with nearly a quarter of the box open and upside down. So there was damage to my front fender, and the rack and the handlebars. Now the handlebars in the rack, they're more cosmetic, so I'm not as concerned about that. I'll be able to look at it a little bit more later. But the rack's going to have to be replaced. And I do have some questions about the battery as well. I mean, I don't know if that's a situation where it would damage the battery, but these things, while being sturdy, they're still not that delicate. So I'm going to have to put in a claim on the insurance side here. And the only other thing that concerns me is, of course, when it's time to send the bike back, those are really my only alternatives. Yeah, I guess I could take it to a bike shop and have them break it down completely and put it in the same sort of box
that a specialized would come in. It's going to be a lot more expense, but I think that's probably so. I know at one of these ferry points, there's a place where we can eat, and I'm not sure how covered it is, but I'll see if there's a possibility for me to charge some more while I'm trying to get something to eat. As long as it's covered, I'll have to keep the battery in the bike. So I don't know if that's possible from what I remember that configuration, but certainly going to try. Right now, the goal is to get to Harper's Ferry, which is at mile marker 65, which is about 20 miles less than what I wanted to do today, but I don't think that's going to be doable, which means I'm even more behind, and this could be a problem next week. But I think that's about 50 miles from where I took my break. So that hour or so or longer break to do this was a bit of a problem. Next time I see a bench or something, I'm going to need to stop. I need to get some electrolytes into the system. <sighs> 56%, down 25% already, which is not good. I can't. I need to lighten the load, but it's the only thing I can think of. The whole point of buying the e-bike was to be able to bring things to make life on the road a little bit easier. And it's not turning out that way. Obviously, the rain from that. I need the battery to last longer or to charge faster, which is would be better. Losing a lot of time if I'm going to have to wait an hour or 2 hours twice a day, it's just not going to work. I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but maybe when I get into Cumberland, when I reach Cumberland, I might have to try and get rid of some stuff, send it home or something. I don't know. I really didn't want to do that. It may have been that where I was getting the electricity wasn't as strong a current or something. It didn't really take it this long to charge. At least it didn't feel like it did when I charged it last night. Maybe I was just so busy running around I didn't notice. And I'm starting to get fatigued, which would mean a stop, but where? The only place I can think of is this place where supposedly we can get lunch, this diner. Hopefully they're open, but knowing that, a problem getting to where I want to be. And these wet socks are not helping. I might have to find a decent place beforehand and then just pack it up. And this is camp for the night. Happen to run into two people that are traveling across the country as well, especially one gentleman, 68 years old, who's done this multiple times. So he's an inspiration. But it's raining, and it's cold, and I'm going to have to go use the little boy's room and then get in my tent and try to get a little bit warmer. Get out of these wet socks. That's the biggest thing. In fact, I have actually keep that up on here. Let's see. Do I have that towel? Where is it? No, it's not there. It's in here. No, those are paper towels. Yeah, I'm going to need these. And I had a towel someplace, but I can't find it right now, so I'll find it later. But I'm going to need these socks for certain. Didn't really set up my tent in the best place here. Now I got stuff in there, I can't move it, so it'll have to do.